Larry LeGrand is an unsung hero from our historical American Negro baseball leagues who has a story to tell about being a Negro baseball player in America's terrifying era of human conflict and Negro oppression. He had the spirit and perseverance to overcome immense cultural, personal, political, and professional challenges. So I'm sitting in the Raleigh-Durham airport right now, getting ready to fly over to San Diego, and the back of this book that's called I Found Someone to Play With, a biography of Larry LeGrand, really spoke to me. And it's interesting because I was driving here this morning, I was in my taxi cab coming to the airport, and there was a radio station on. I don't know what it was, I'm not sure who it was that was talking, but it was a woman guest talking to a male interviewer about the movie industry, about the state of the movie industry, and about women in movies and in directing. And when the host asked her, why don't you think more women are involved in big blockbusters, whether in front of or behind the camera? What she said was, it's because Hollywood and the movie industry does not invite women to be a part of those blockbuster films. And then 15 minutes later, I'm here in the Raleigh-Durham airport. I get my coffee. I'm walking by one of the Hudson bookstores, and all of a sudden this really sweet man with a big gray beard and a name tag that proves that he is past security clearance to be working in the airport, points at this book that's at the front of the store and says, I wrote that. And I said, what do you mean you wrote that? He goes, I wrote that. The guy's name is J.J. Angelo. I wrote that. I said, tell me about it. So he tells me about this chance encounter. He tells me about that he played amateur baseball for 30 years and that he was at the North Carolina State Fairgrounds at a baseball memorabilia show and ended up meeting this man, Larry LeGrand, who talked about being one of the last people to play with Satchel Paige and the Satchel Paige All-Stars in the 60s, and about going through and just having this need, this intrinsic just desire and need, and a story bursting out of his chest to be shared, and he needed somebody to write it for him, which is where my new buddy JJ came into play. JJ didn't wait for somebody to invite him to sell his book. JJ had a passion. He had a story that he wanted to share, somebody else's story that he was able to capture and write and put into a book with his wife. He could have sat there, worked his shift at Hudson, and then gone home to his wife and said, yeah, nobody invited me to sell them my book today. Nobody invited me to give them a chance to hear my story. He invited himself. It's the exact same thing Larry LeGrand did. He didn't say, well, I didn't get to play baseball because nobody invited me because of the political era or because of the socioeconomic climate or because of racial oppression. He went out there and invited himself. When I hear people say things like, I wasn't invited, I start thinking back to my own life and the things that I've accomplished, that I feel so grateful and lucky to have accomplished. And I realized today through these couple of chance encounters, hearing the interview, meeting JJ, finding this book, that never again will I say it's because I wasn't invited. It's an excuse I've used in the past. They should have known how good I was. They should have reached out to me. They should see the body of work I have and chase me. They should invite me. It's an excuse that is comforting and gives me something to complain about, but it doesn't actually move me forward. So in honor of Larry LeGrand and in honor of J.J. Angelo, I challenge you to no longer wait to be invited, to invite yourself, to be a friggin' wedding crasher in life and get what it is you want. Lots of love. Peace.